Well, I think you're right there in that they deserve to lose. If they won, it would have been a little bit of a travesty. They would have won because of their opposition, not because of the policies they were taking to the electorate and for the principal stand they were taking. Energy was enormous. Energy is where they can differentiate so clearly, and it touches everything. When you've got a cost of living crisis, energy is an enormous part of that. When you've got an inflation problem, energy is an enormous part of that. So it affects every household, every business, the manufacturing sector, jobs. And you could have taken this, made it a referendum about Labor is about green energy emission cuts. We're
Chris
about
Bowen.
cheap, reliable energy. We're about the cheapest form of energy that you can get. And that is it. Yeah, they had the nuclear policy. They were too scared to talk about it. And that didn't kick into the 2030s. People want to know what's going to happen in a month's time, not in the 2030s. So that is a huge failing. It was a huge opportunity. Population was another one. Again, something everybody cares about, impacts so many areas of life, whether you're talking about housing crisis, waiting lists at hospitals, traffic issues, cultural issues. All of this you could have, again, said, Labor have brought in record numbers in the last few years. We're going to slash immigration 50%, maybe 80%. Have a clear policy and say, until we get the housing crisis sorted, we're not going to be bringing in
a single person. Slam the door shut, James.
And stop letting groups like Universities Australia and the property developers lobbies define what our population should be. The Overton window, that's a term that we use in politics to describe, the areas where it's allowed to be talked about, where you're allowed to talk about. That has shifted so far on immigration now. You have most people in most polls saying they want less or substantially less immigration. Huge door for the coalition to walk through. They kind of stuck their foot through for a bit, but then they, again, great problem...
But that was everything.
But there's the problem here, Rita and Rod. There's a more fundamental thing than this. We can talk about all the different policies that they didn't, land or come together on. They just simply didn't do the homework.